language, a comprehensive and thorough review of the complaints, and essentially it boils down to the law doesn't apply. If you have a similar circumstance for more than 5 individuals in similar circumstances, there's no personal conflict. In this case, there were 6 complainants with much greater land than what I own. There's 28 homeowners associations. There's 17 people with property on the north and west side.
Mr. Litzy, if I can back you up a minute, could you just summarize what the complaints were, just for the record?
Well, they were
they in front of the Ethics Commission?
Yeah, these were complaints to the Ethics Commission by Mr. DeBerry, and Mr. Holt, and Mr. Tracy.
Okay. Were these 3 separate complaints, 3 separate cases before the Ethics Commission?
2 of them were on behalf of the sewer group, and Mr. Tracy's was, that I was a member of the Masnob Land Company, and Charlie Bryant was a member of the Consortium for Silver Creek, and sadly, all of that information.
So these are three cases?
Well, there are 2 cases.
2 cases.
One which is snowshoe propelled, and the other one was Mr. Tracy.
Okay.
On essentially repeating what Snowshoe had done. Okay. And so we went through the process. We presented all of the information to the commission regarding the property, its location, its proximity to the sewer system, the fact that we had never requested water or sewer services from anyone, including Randolph County, where the property is actually located and taxed for inter-county purposes going back to the Civil War, having nothing to do with me, how it got put into the various counties. So what we are doing now is we are going through the insurance process for the remuneration of attorney's fees. Okay. And that's the information that was put forward there.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Litzy. So in the information I have here, there's an email of September 2nd, 2011 to then Commissioner Martin Saffer from Robert Fisher, who was with West Virginia Board of Risk and Insurance Management, BRIM. And we switched from BRIM to West Virginia County's Risk Pool since then. So it is a change. But anyway, the purpose of this email was to ask BRIM if they would cover the attorney's costs, the legal expenses, in the case that, I guess, a PSD member, generally speaking, were successful, or the charges or the complaints were dismissed. And to give some context, Mr. Fisher from BRIM at that point replied to Mr. Saffer and said, "We've reviewed your request." Well, let me share the request. Mr. Fisher, our PSD member is facing an ethics complaint before the West Virginia Ethics Commission. It arises from the board member's alleged conflicts of interest in voting on matters in which he allegedly has a financial interest. Please advise me, Mr. Saffer, if coverage would be available for this board member, Martin Saffer, County Commissioner. So Mr. Robert Fisher replied and said, "We've reviewed your request and feel that coverage likely would be available to the appointed board member under the wrongful acts coverage. The coverage would not apply to the PSD or other entity, only to the appointed official," so Mr. Litzy in this case. That having been said, I must reiterate that we cannot offer anticipatory coverage opinions, as the coverage analysis is based on the facts, allegations, and demands. Our only opinion is that the person would likely qualify as an insured under the policy. As we discussed, in this particular instance, we do not coverage matters before the Ethics Commission or other administrative policy. I hope this provides the answer you are seeking. Should you have other questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. Robert Fisher, Deputy Director and Claim Manager, West Virginia Board of Risk and Insurance Management. So what that tells me is that it's possible that West Virginia County's risk pool is who we're with now, that they would have something to say on this, and we should probably ask them.
Well, I think that our carrier is who we had at the time.
At the time?
Yes.
Okay, so this still falls under Brennan's
Yes.
jurisdiction?
Yes.
Right, thank you, of course. Yes. And that was
Just to
September
let you know that the
2011.
process has started.
Okay. Well, all right, thank you, Mr. Lissy. I guess that's all for now on that. Okay. And there are letters here from the Ethics Commission stating that the above referenced complaint was dismissed for both complaints.
Okay.
Any questions or anything,
No.
Mr. Litzy? Okay. All right. Well, I suppose that wraps